The ladies of The View have their own opinions of Buffalo Bills player Damar Hamlin's injury and the risks of tackle football. Here's what co-host Joy Behar had to say.
45% of Americans think that tackle football is appropriate. Heterosexual men voted the most support for kids doing football. And conservatives were more likely to support youth tackle football. Just saying.
Just saying. Beverly, District Media Group President Beverly Hallberg here to react. Look, at a time when so many across the political divide are coming together in support of this young man, in unity of our great country, is that the worst Joy Behar take to date?
I don't know. There's a lot to choose from, but I think you're absolutely right that right now we are united in support of Damar Hamlin. And it only took roughly 2 days for Joy Behar to turn this into something absolutely political. And I take issue with her polling data as well and some of her data as a whole, because what we do know, and I'm going to say this as a female who loves the NFL, there was a recent SSRS sports poll that showed that 46% of the avid NFL sports base is women. And I know there are a lot of women watching this program today who love the NFL as well. So I think what this really comes down to is Joy Behar has to make everything about politics, including what I think she really dislikes, which is what she views is the NFL has toxic masculinity.
But why take the time, like Todd said, right now to politicize this? Is this just because it's a talking point and she has to say something to fill time?
Well, I have a feeling she's not an NFL fan, so she doesn't have a whole lot to say on the topic itself. But also she makes everything about politics. This isn't surprising. And think about the NFL and the controversies that have happened in the past few years. I think many on the left really disdain the sport for a few reasons. One is it's based on competition, which means there are winners and losers based on how well you play. They don't want that type of play in that type of society where there are winners and losers. And then you add to that the fact that families get around and watch these games each week. And I think this is a key point. The national anthem is sung, and you often have many players kneeling in prayer, either individually or together. So I think the fact that it is steeped in tradition, that families love it, I think that is something that many on the left are trying to tear down.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. Why do so many on the far left, like your Joy Behars, want to tear down these traditions that point blank, Beverly, make America what we are?
And so many of us are just trying to escape not just politics, but also some of the hard issues of the day. We've talked so much in the past year about inflation and how people are struggling to make ends meet. Having something like football, a time to escape, a time to spend it with family. I even know over the holidays, whether it's the NFL or college football, so many families got together to celebrate and to watch. It's something that we can all do together. But I think in addition to this and just trying to tear down something that is traditional, it's also having to recognize that there are differences between men and women. It's only men who play the sport. Now, plenty of women are involved with the NFL as a whole on let's say, some of the officiating. Even some of the teams have women coaches, those who help out on the sidelines. But there is a difference between men and women physically, and that is not something that the left wants to admit. So I think whether it's the NFL or other sports where only men play, I think you're going to start seeing even more these sports attacked.
Well, you know, Sunny was sitting there agreeing with everything she was saying. And then I think I heard Whoopi in the background agree when she started talking about the conservative men basically being the most in favor of this. But do you think the people who watch The View agree with this notion that they're saying? Because I'll just tell you this. I know a lot of liberal women who love football. Surely they did not agree with this.
Absolutely. No, and yes, it is true that the southern states do lean conservative, and those states love football, specifically college football. But when you look at the NFL, it is extremely popular in many states, whether it's red or blue. I think really what The View has become is not something that a lot of people watch live. It comes down to these clips that go viral. Many on the left, and I would even say many on the right, are often rewarded when they go viral for saying things that can be controversial. And so I think The View fits into that mold where none of us really watch The View. I feel sad for those who have to sit through some of this echo chamber group speak and group think that they have. It is actually that we see it in these viral videos, and I think that is how they get a lot of their marketing, is the fact that they say such crazy things.
Sure. Beverly Hallberg, 100% right on every single point. Maybe you should be the new speaker. Beverly Hallberg, thank you very much.
Well, thanks so much. Have a good one.